actually, left a career of 13 years in finance to come educate and help people to be able to understand what supplemental insurance is, how it works and what the differences are.
Okay.
Most people think, they're set, right? They have amazing health insurance. I have great health insurance. I have Kaiser. And so people think, well, I'm set. And that's not necessarily the case because they don't understand all the other costs associated with it. And most people think, it's not going to happen to me. I'm sure, you don't think you're going to get cancer. I most certainly, hope I never do.
Yeah.
But 3 in 4 families are affected. So 1 in 2 men, 1 in 3 women, and unfortunately children as well.
Right.
There's going to be, 1.6 million new cases this year. And a lot of people also have that misconception. They think it's hereditary. It doesn't run in my family, so, it isn't going to affect me.
Right.
And 3 in 4 cases are actually coming from the environment. So the good news is 6 in 10 people are surviving. But the
Right.
bad news is it is an extremely expensive disease. And out of the $226 billion, that go towards cancer, if you think of it like an iceberg, the very tip of the iceberg is what your health insurance covers.
Right.
That's the doctors, that's the hospitals. So the insurance you have, your health insurance, is going to pay the doctors and the hospitals directly. And Family Heritage is going to pay you directly. Because if you're going through something like this, you don't know if it's going to be a 1-month battle, a 6-month battle, a 1-year battle, 5-year, 10-year. You don't know how long this is going to be.
Right.
And so for most people, if they were to walk away, from their job for years at a time, that would be pretty financially devastating.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And Mark, do you know someone that's had cancer?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. None of you.
Yeah. Every time I ask, a room full of people, it doesn't matter how large the room is, everyone raises their hand.
Oh, yeah.
And that's so astounding to me because what other disease can you list? Usually you'll get a handful, right?
But yeah, cancer is everyone.
Everyone. 1 degree of separation.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So
supplemental.
Mm-hmm.
So in the idea being that it's supplementing the other insurance, right?
Right.
So what is an example of types of things that supplemental insurance covers?
Yeah, great question. So we to put the money directly into your account. You can use it for whatever you want. So people use it to pay their bills, to subsidize their income, to pay for additional medications, specialty treatments, co-pays, deductibles, uncovered charges, unforeseen events, travel, lodging, childcare. When you're going through something like this, it's so extremely taxing, and there are so many unforeseen charges. And when do you think most people find out about these charges?
Yeah.
When it's too late, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think, like for instance, if someone's spouse were to be going through cancer treatment, maybe ideally, if I live in Roseville, it would be in Roseville, but maybe it's not the case. So you've got to travel to where they are. You've got to spend time with them. If you're going to need to sleep in a hospital room with them, but in a lot of cases you can't when they're
Right.
doing whatever they're going procedures. So you have to stay in a hotel. So now you've got travel, lodging. If
Right.
you've got kids, someone's got to watch them.
Absolutely.
So those are all the types of costs, like you said, that aren't part of the Kaiser's not going to pay for that.
Right, absolutely.
You have the McDonald House and those types of organizations that will help along the way as well, but
Right.
they can't cover everybody's costs.
Absolutely. And something big that you just touched on is the travel piece. Where you get treated dictates your likelihood of survival.
Absolutely.
There are so many different types of cancer, and there are so many amazing specialty treatment centers out there. MD Anderson, for example, is renowned for their brain cancer research.
Sure.
So knowing what you have or what your child has or what your spouse has, you're going to research it. You
Right.
know you're going to want to go to the very best place. And the travel benefits that our company offers are, bar none. We literally pay for 3-second opinions, and then once you choose where you want to go in the United States, we pay every flight, every time, not just for you, but for a loved one to accompany you. No lifetime limits.
Right.
And you don't know how many times a month you're going to be traveling there, how often you're going to be going there. But one of our elite policies, for example, is $2,500 a ticket, every flight, every time for both of you, $200 a night, every night for the hotel. It's incredible. And
Yeah.
the fact that you can choose to be treated where you want versus where you can afford
Right.
is huge.
Huge.
Because to your point, most people will be treated locally, not even necessarily because they want to be, but because they're worried, I can afford this now. In fact, I may even have the means or the finances to afford this for a few years, but how long is this going to be?
Yeah.
And you're not going to want to switch
Yeah.
treatment facilities.
Of course.
So the fact that that burden has just been lifted, you can be treated anywhere you want, it makes such a huge difference. And honestly, even for my grandparents, for example, they were well off, and some people think, I have all my assets, I have everything set up, I don't need something like this. Do you want to be worried about that
Yeah.
when you're going through something like this? Do you want to be liquidating assets? do you want to be pulling from retirement and figuring out, you know, what's going to go where and which houses you're going to sell or which businesses you're going to liquidate. I mean, finances are the last thing you want to worry about. And we used a good portion of the money towards experimental treatment. You know, and that a lot of times is what you're going to be searching for as well, if it's your spouse or your child's life is on the line, you know, or your own.
Okay, we're talking today with Jenna Sullivan, the Market Director of California for Family Heritage. We're going to take a break and listen to Beyond the Numbers. We'll be right back. I'm going to tell you when Jerry gives me
how much
time's left, and I'll let you know that's the fingers. So if I'll be doing fingers up.
And fingers.
That's how much time's left. Like
4 minutes, 1
minute.
Okay,
So.
gotcha. How's that?
Good.
Getting
Great.
a good grasp, yeah.
Okay, what do you think?
Yeah.
Good. It must be, it just connected.
Oh, nice.
What's that been, 15 minutes? So it must have been, like you said, the internet slow down.
Yeah.
That's crazy, okay.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's I can't even believe the fires that are going on out there. It's making such a crazy difference.
Well, it's like the new normal. It seems to me.
Well, they said it's what, the 7th largest fire in California history?
Is that
I think
right?
I heard that on your show this morning.
Yeah, it could be.
This morning, actually.
Could be. That wouldn't surprise me. It's,
Yeah.
it just gets worse and worse. It started earlier this year, and I think that's just unfortunately, this is just the way it is. So.
Yeah, I don't know what the containment is this morning, but last time I checked it was 20%, which was majorly up from from the 3.
Still horrible. I have some friends who were going to go hike Half Moon this weekend, but Yosemite's closed. And that's all by lottery, so.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I want to be hiking up there. It was bothering my contacts the other day, and we're all the way here, so I can't even imagine being up there. I wouldn't be able to do anything.
And we're back. You listen to Beyond the Numbers, Money 1055. This is Mark Bellows, your host. I am a tax principal partner with Clifton Larson Allen in the Roseville office. My number, if you want to get a hold of me, is 916-784-7800, and my email is mark.bellows@claconnect.com. And I work with manufacturers and distributors, contractors, real estate investors and developers, businesses, their owners, that sort of thing, tax planning, strategy, compliance, all that. And today my guest is Jenna Sullivan, Market Director of California Family Heritage. If you want to get hold of Jenna, 530-619-9100. You can also get her at jenna@northernstarsfinancial.com. And then the Family Heritage website is familyheritagelife.com. So you're at northernstarsfinancial.com, and that is a particular agency that is a local rep for Family Heritage. Is that right? Okay. But you work for really not just Northern Stars, but all those Family Heritage.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
You got it.
So how long have you been with Family Heritage?
So I actually just started with Family Heritage last year.
Okay.
And as I mentioned before that, I was actually in the financial industry for 13 years.
And with a number of different banks and that sort of
Yes.
thing, right?
So I started with Wells Fargo.
Okay.
And it was actually October of, I want to say, 2004.
Which, by the way, is where a lot of people start, right?
Yeah,
Wells,
it is.
Bank of America, I mean, big training grounds, great training grounds. Did you have a good experience there?
I did. Yeah, they have an amazing, training
Absolutely,
facilities,
yeah.
And I was actually one of their youngest managers at the time in the nation, and I worked up in North in Redding, California.
It's devastated by fire right now.
Yes, unfortunately
Yeah.
so. And then I actually got transferred out to Arizona, so I started managing branches
Whereabouts?
out there. I was in Cave Creek, Phoenix, Fountain Hills area,
Okay.
Palisades. So
Okay.
very hot.
Yeah, I was going to say, a little bit cooler here, right?
Yeah, very hot.
Yeah.
So I was out there with them for a long time, and like I said, managed a multitude of branches and had a great experience. And then I actually went over to J.P. Morgan Chase.
Okay.
So with them, I actually worked out in Dallas, Oklahoma area as well.
Oh, wow.
So Midwest City.
Yeah.
So, and also for them, I was doing management as well, wholesaling, training, and then I came back out to California with JP Morgan. I was on their national sales team.
Okay.
So was able to do a lot of coaching and training and facilitating a lot of different things with them as well. And then was picked up by Alliant, which is a national credit union.
Right.
And they're based in Chicago.
Okay.
So I was traveling a lot,
Wow.
flying all over the place.
And going back to the home office regularly, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was a national executive for them as well. So I was working with large business groups and going out and giving them a lot of education. So different credit classes, identity theft classes, helping different organizations and businesses educate and help with all of their voluntary benefit programs.
Right.
So, and then actually I was picked up by Exchange Bank, which is based out of Santa Rosa.
Okay.
You know, one of the other territories that was hit by a fire not too long ago.
Yeah.
And I worked for the SBA, so that government division of small business.
Okay.
So, you know, had a great experience with them as well. And then, like I mentioned earlier, you know, what brought me to Family Heritage, one is the cause, you know, purpose-driven life, really wanted to do something that was going to make a big impact and a big difference.
Right.
And like I mentioned, you know, having my grandfather go through cancer himself, and this family, or this company being focused on helping families, again, that are going through catastrophic events like cancer, heart attack, stroke, accident, I wanted to be a part of that.
Right.
So it was something really exciting, you know, that I was really passionate about. And actually my family, you know, a lot of my family members work here too. So my uncle works here, my brother works here, my dad works here, and now half my best friends work here because, you know, they've seen in such a short time,
right.
you know, what I've been able to achieve with the company, what the company represents. They're excited about the products, you know, they're excited to help families. And as I had mentioned before, all of them were affected by one of those three things, either a major accident in their family, you know, something with heart, or something with cancer, where every single one of them, you know, had a purpose and a reason to go out and educate families and help families, to be able to protect themselves against something like this.
Right. Well, that's great. So you've been recruiting people, friends, family, all along.
Oh yeah.
Or since you've been on board.
Yeah, and we're built in California. So Family Heritage was actually based in Ohio.
Okay.
And then our holding company, Torchmark, is in McKinney, Texas.
Okay.
So California, we're starting to build. So if anyone's listening and they are looking for, you know, an incredible career where they can work from home, you know, have that type of flexibility and really, you know, have that purpose, you know, behind what they're doing every day. You know, Mark shared my contact information several times. Please call me. You know, I'm looking for people that want to make a difference and are interested in educating families on having something like this.
530-619-9100.
Mm-hmm.
And Jenna, Jenna, Jenna at northernstarsfinancial.com.
Yes, thank you so much.
So you said California's a market that you guys are growing. So where are you at? What parts? Where's your footprint so far in California?
Sure.
What else are you looking for?
So we have some in Southern California, you know, the Los Angeles, Orange County area.
Okay.
We have some in like the Vacaville, Fairfield, that kind of area, and then Sacramento has been rapidly expanding.
Okay.
And then we have people up in the northern part of California as well. So, you know, Red Bluff, Redding, you know, all those areas up north. But there is so much.
You gonna go back up there?
What now?
You gonna go back up there to that area?
I travel up there a lot just because my folks have a horse ranch up there.
Okay.
And so we go really frequently, you know, to go visit and step away from all the noise. It's absolutely beautiful there.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you can see, there's so many gaps, and there's so many places that we could really use educators to go out and talk about something like this. Especially, I mean, anyone can take a look at this company, but we're A+, you know, with the Better Business Bureau. We're A+ with AM Best Company.
Mm-hmm.
Our customer satisfaction rates are astounding, and it's because of how we take care of our customers, how simple the process is. A question I get a lot is, you know, are there physicals? There's not. You know, we make it so easy and, you know, so seamless for people to be able to get this. It's also extremely affordable. Most people, as I'm going through and talking about everything it does to cover you, all the, you know, financial help and all the cash that's coming in directly to your account, they think, oh my goodness, you know, this is going to be so expensive, way out of my ballpark. Our least expensive policy we offer is a few dollars a month. So I never want people to get that misconception. Just because the coverage is phenomenal, it doesn't mean it's not going to fit in your budget. We literally can fit into any budget. And something I didn't mention, Mark, that I think is one of the most incredible things about this company is if you don't have any of these things happen, we actually return premiums.
Wow.
So it's amazing. Either you know, get cancer, or you have something major happen and we pay you, or nothing happens and we pay you. So either way, I mean, you're getting all of your money back. So every so many years, we just automatically return everything you've given us so far, less any claims paid. So there's no way to lose. You know, it's a win-win. So the only way you would lose is if you needed it and didn't have it.
Didn't have it, right.
Most people, I'm sure you know this actually, have a very hard time saving. A very hard time saving. So this...
Well, we're a consumer society, right? I mean, especially in America, we like to spend money, so yes.
Absolutely.
But this is a saving.
It is, it's a senior savings plan. I mean, it's amazing because they're able to put into this and they get it back, you know, after so many years if they haven't used it.
Right.
which is pretty incredible. You know, if they have any small claims, we deduct it out just like a savings account. If they had some massive claims, we paid them way more, you know, than they ever paid us. But assuming they didn't have any, they get every penny back, and we never keep their money. Even if they passed or something happened, we give that to their beneficiary. So it's really incredible, and it's a nice way for people to get protected without feeling like they're throwing their money away. Because like we talked about earlier, most people don't think this is going to happen to them, right? It's something that happens to other people,
right.
Not something that happens to you. But like I mentioned earlier, I mean, heart attacks, you know, things correlated with heart are actually one of the #1 killers in the United States. The #1 killer for children is accident. And with cancer, like I said, 3 in 4 families, 1 in 2 men, 1 in 3 women. I mean, these numbers are astounding. So what I always tell people to think is it possible? You know, I know you don't think you are going to get it, but is it possible that you could?
Yeah.
And if it is, you know, please protect yourselves.
Yeah.
You know, because people don't. One, they think it's, like I said, too expensive, or two, they feel like it's not something they need.
It can be devastating.
It is,
the cost,
absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and like we had talked about, you know, people do go through their liquid assets, and then they start, you know, usually going through that retirement account like we talked about, the savings account, depleting children's college funds, all things you didn't want to touch in the first place.
Yeah, you don't want to do that,
Downgrading your lifestyle. I mean, can you imagine the last thing you want to do is have to sell your home or, you know, downgrade that portion.
Yeah, all that can come up if you're not prepared.
Right.
And so something with Family Heritage can help you get prepared.
Absolutely.
Get prepared for that.
And prevent you from leaning on your family. I mean, they protect your assets, your family, and your future.
Yeah.
So it's huge. Absolutely.
So I noticed